and welcome to another episode of Schooling with Jane. I'm your host, Hannah Mendelson, with the amazing Jane Guzman. Welcome, Jane.
Well, thank you, Hannah. Once again, we meet. I think we're working with Jack today, are we?
I am back in the hot seat with Mr. Jack, and we're going to be going over our next lesson we had with him. Here we are.
I mean, you can see right away because you've taken a little more contact. He was a little bit worried about it. And you have two choices. You either say, oops, he's not ready and let the reins go again. Or you say, it's okay. I got your hand. I'm going to follow your head. So I want to keep a bend in my elbow and just follow your head. And you can see his neck is down and there's a little bit of a resistance in his mouth there. So we try to turn, we try, and he goes, no, I don't really want to. So I turn the other way. And just asking him to turn left and right on a contact is huge for him. You know, we don't know his whole history, but we can absolutely tell by his reactions that he has had some rough steps in the past. So what I'm wanting you to do with him is just ride the rhythm. The rhythm at the walk is a 4-beat walk, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not too fast, not too slow, as much impulsion as he can deal with, and then just holding his hand. So imagine that you're holding a puppy. You don't want to squeeze it, but you do want to say, I got you, you're fine. And he actually stopped quite nicely. But then, did he really need to pull the rein out of your hand to do that? So perhaps it would have been better to have stopped and when he tugged down to say, wait, 2 more seconds and then you release the rein. So he learns to wait for you, which is really important.
See, he's had me well trained because I assumed that he was just itchy every single time that we stopped.
He had a cunning plan in there.
He's a smart cookie.
Yeah, people say they're not smart and you can tell by the way his neck is set onto his body, that he's never been asked to work up through from behind or lift his rib cage and stretch the neck up and round. So everything has been pulled back on his mouth. When you start to pull back, it's his head and neck against your arms. He's been taught to pull. So how do we correct that? We correct it by firstly getting our rider into as balanced a position as possible. And as a trainer, I always ask a rider, do you mind if I touch your leg here? I'm just going to put you into a stronger position. Because if I've got my balance, as you saw from the car video, I could get up into a half seat and I still could follow her head. And my weight was down into my lower leg. So it's my lower leg that's my base of support.
So if your lower legs are balanced, the horse can do something with its head, but you're not going to
lose your balance and fall onto its forehand, which will make it run or scare it. Or you'll crash back onto his back, which will encourage him not to lift his back up. So correcting a horse is always about correcting the rider first and analysing your position. And it's always seat, then your upper body, then your legs. If I get your seat in the correct position in the saddle, the upper body has more chance and the leg has more chance to be down around my horse.
And we've spoken about how difficult sometimes, especially with Jack, it is to find a saddle that fits him. And it's just as important that the saddle fits the rider too, because saddles make you sit all sorts of different ways.
Yeah, I think you told me that you tried
11
saddles before you got something that fitted him.
It's a solid barrel saddle.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll take up dressage just so we can have a lighter saddle.
Do the Western dressage. It's very important. It's like a pair of running shoes. You know, if I'm wearing trainers to just go out shopping, it's a different pair of trainers than if I was doing a marathon, or a different pair of trainers if I was doing cross-country running. Finding a saddle, whether it's a Western saddle or an English saddle, to fit is really difficult. And even when you find the right size, say you buy a pair of size shoes, Does every pair of shoes that size fit your foot? Absolutely not, because it depends on the width of your back, where your withers are, where your hind legs are. And he's got quite a stocky back. So it's going to be difficult to have a saddle that'll fit round him that allow you to be down on him and be safe, but not rock from side to side or not bridge on his back or pinch his back.
I had to look for a U-shaped tree,
right,
as opposed to our other horse, Graham, has like this A-frame tree because his withers are higher
right,
and more pronounced, and Jack has these like bulldog withers.
Yeah.
It's hard to come by, especially if you're not wanting to spend tons of money on a custom saddle.
Yeah. But the thing that I love about teaching you is you were prepared to try 11 saddles. And that speaks volumes, because you cared to find a saddle that would allow him to move and improve how he goes, and also you could ride in. And the other thing is that we should check our saddles every 6 to 9 months to a year, because saddles change in shape. Our horse changes in shape. So a saddle that fitted this year may actually not fit as well, I hate to tell you. So you might be on saddle number 12.
We love the journey.
Yeah. It's an important issue, because now you can actually see his step is actually a little bit longer than when we started. And he's not kicking up as much dirt with that left hind. It's still going a little bit to the side. So there's a stiffness through the hock. There's a stiffness in the stifle. There's a stiffness in the top of his back. But it's getting better, like peeling an onion. You're gradually getting this horse to be in a better balance for himself, and that will allow him to stay sound for longer. So that's kind of one of the big things I talk about in my horse one-ship clinics, because it's about being at one with our horse. So that's what I want you to have, what I want you to feel.
That's what I want to feel too. The more balanced either of us are, it helps the other one become more balanced.
Yeah, definitely.
Speaking on his history, I do know that he started out life as like a backyard rodeo horse.
Right.
The training I'm sure he had was pulling you to the right to go right, pulling you to the left to go left. And that's how it looks in the movies too, and everything. But that's not the correct way.
It's not. It's not the way to make a mouth that you feel safe with. Because basically, when we started, you didn't feel that safe with him, did you?
No, ma'am. No, I did not.
And that was because you knew you couldn't control him.
When a horse doesn't want to do something and is stronger than you and knows where your weak points are and knows how to rip the reins out of your hands and take off, it's terrifying.
Yeah. So I think here what I'm showing you is the aid that I use with the rein, which is a take and give. And the take and give is within the contact. And it's basically my ring finger vibrating. Or if necessary, it can be a bigger take and give. But it's a take and a give within the contact. It's not a take and give it all away. Because every time you give it away, the horse takes that and gets lower and lower, and you're more in charge. So it is a take and give within the contact, and it is one rein, not both reins. We're demonstrating that together. You couldn't pull back against my vibration, but if I just took a dead pull against you, then you can pull back. So it becomes a battle of strength between the two of us. And I don't know who's going to win with two of us, but certainly with you and Jack, Jack's going to win.
Yes, he will. Look at those bulldog features on him.
But he's standing better in the. He's happy. You know, he is happier. He's accepting more of what you're doing, which is huge.
You can tell he's feeling better. He's not lost all the weight that he needs to lose, but he's losing weight sustainably.
His withers are up more. But you can see that when he walks off hollow. He pulls himself with his front legs because the back end is still tight. So the more we can loosen the back end, the more the front end will come up. You know, we can't bring the front end up by putting a stronger bit in and putting draw reins on him, and because all that'll do is drop his neck down, but it won't help his back. then you cause more concussion, then you get more lamenesses and things go wrong. But I'm loving how you're beginning to keep a contact left and right, and you're following his head as you asked him to halt. So when his head went up, you just went up with him. You didn't pull him back. You just said, I got you. It's fine. And by doing the transitions on the arc of a circle, doesn't matter what size, you actually had more control. Whereas if you try it and do a transition on a straight line, they have more of an opportunity to pull against you.
And that's why you'll see people changing gaits or upward transitions on a straight line, because it's easier for a horse than to pick up speed.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like we're doing much, but getting him to respond to the reins and the aids and halts and not fidget. Earlier, he needed to scratch, and now he's not doing it so much.
Yep. No, it's great. And what's nice is you're now maintaining an outside rein, which you weren't in the past. And when he kind of fell to the outside, you used more and more inside rein, but wondered why he was still falling to the outside. But now you have better balance in your body. You have more control of both sides of your horse, and you're able to turn left, turn right, stop, start. Do you not feel safer?
Every time I work with him now and work with you, I feel at least 1% safer, which is
perfect.
Which is the goal.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be a nice little horse. And we bear in mind what your goal is with him, and that is to eventually get him to do some of the Western dressage stuff.
That would be very nice.
So he'll come to it, but he'll come to it in time, building the right flexibility. We can't force it, otherwise it doesn't work. So that's the reason I don't have a drop noseband on him or a flash. Just say, to your mouth, it's okay. All right, maybe if we're galloping around, but we're not doing that. We're doing what will make you a better rider.
And a flash is the part of the bridle that
goes below,
goes around their mouth.
Yeah.
It has a purpose, but sometimes people will use it outside of its purpose.
Yeah. When I trained many, many years ago, I trained with a British Olympic trainer, and we broke a lot of young thoroughbreds, and he broke them all in either a flash or a drop noseband. And it was so that the horse never learned to open his mouth or cross his jaw. But they were ridden gently, and they weren't really tight. So once you have an issue, putting a Band-Aid on, like shutting his mouth, is not, because all that happens is the tension is further back in his mouth. So we've really got to try, in as safe a way as possible, re-educate him to a nicer way of going, which is what you're doing with him. And now you can walk in and out of every ring.
Yes, we can.
Which is huge.
It's very huge. I think one of our first lessons was just going in and out of the ring.
Yeah. And just staying in balance. So you're only walking in this lesson.
We're trying, I think you're telling me about a trot position here. We're beginning to see if either of us can go into it.
I think what I'm saying is, in the rising trot, if you stand up and sit down, by the time you stand up, the horse has travelled forward, you're behind the movement. So the position in rising trot, we need to have the upper body a little forward and have that swing through your pelvis forwards, as opposed to where I'm in sitting trot. I'm sitting on the horse so I can sit upright. But the posting trot needs to be a little bit more with the upper body forward, but still with the weight down through the knee and heel. The lower leg is your base of support.
Because a lot of people think it's just standing up and down. But if you're up and the horse is already in front of you, you're going to
fall back,
fall off.
Yeah. Or you're going to hurt his back because your weight's going to come down, and his center of balance now at the moment is almost on his shoulders because he's so on his forehand. Well, you need to ride in a position to be balanced for him so that he can learn to move back. If you sit in your classic dressage position on a young horse, you'll hurt their back. So your young horse really should not be in a dressage saddle unless you ride a hole or two shorter, just because the outline is from behind. So we're trying to re-educate his body to move in a more supple, more flexible, more comfortable way for him. And it will be more comfortable and safer for you at the same time. So supposedly a win-win.
Supposedly, we just have to convince him of that.
Yeah.
And so I think we're going to try trotting here. And so one of the things you say people don't realize, but having a good walk helps go into trot. And that's why we work so hard at the walk.
At improving the walk. So my preparation to trot is to correct the position, which we've been doing, then make sure the walk is active enough, then to take the rein a little shorter so as it didn't jerk on his mouth when he went to trot, then ask him to trot and he goes, "Ooh, I don't know if I can. So I don't want you to rise, keep the hand nice and soft and just ride the rhythm." And you're in an arena, so where's he going to go? So you can say, "I'm not fighting with your head, just ride the rhythm." Good, good, good. That's it. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And it's a feeling that metronome going. Good boy, well done. You're not fighting his head, you're just riding him. We're not bothered about diagonals yet. I just want you to just ride into trot. We'll get diagonals in a time once you feel more comfortable just going up and down and being able to stop and start.
And maintain.
Exactly, yeah.
I think he got a little fast there.
He did.
Mm-hmm. Why would he do that?
Just because he can't trot any slower because he's so stiff. So he's really got to be going just a little bit too fast in speed miles per hour, and that intimidates the rider because you think, "Ooh, I'm out of control here." Because you can't stop instantly, but somehow be in an enclosed area, have somebody that you trust beside you and ride the rhythm, let the head go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, good boy, and talk to him. That will help him. The other thing that will help teach him is some round penning or lunging. And it's not to chase him, it's not to tire him out, it's to help him begin to actually move his body.
Because that's what I do see quite a few people using a round pen as a sort of getting the wiggles out.
Yeah, get the buck out.
Mm-hmm.
It should be enhancing his ability to carry a rider.
Interesting.
Yeah. Think we try again? Or are we done with that?
I think we're done with that.
We're done with that one?
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
I think, so the homework for you is do a lot of the walk, bend them left, bend them right. Really think, have I got my rein contact? Am I organised on both sides? After 15 minutes or so, try a trot. Try the trot going uphill if your arena's on a little bit of a slope. And just think, the gate's closed, I'm in an arena, I'm safe. Talk to him, use your voice, cheat a little bit, and trot 1, 2, 1, 2. That he starts to link into that and he begins to establish a working rhythm to get better. I'm looking forward to your next lesson.
I'll be sure to do my homework. And for those of you who are doing your homework out there, if you have any questions that you'd like Jane to possibly answer, go ahead and comment them below this video. We will do our best to get to any of them, all of them. And if you're lucky, we might address one or two in a future episode. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you, Jane.